Mine, you're only doing 2 jobs over there.
Yeah, we had, okay, I think we're live, Chair. And it is recording.
Ready?
Okay, we got 2 more in the waiting room.
Yep. Oh, we need more. The order was starting. Let's allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next up is our public comment time, and this is time for people to speak to the board. It's not a back and forth discussion. Well, I'll explain the rules if anybody wants to comment. Is there anybody in the room that wants to make a public comment? Is there anybody on Zoom that wants to make a public comment? Please raise your hand.
Not seeing any, sir.
Is anybody, Matt?
No.
No, okay. Okay, we can, consideration adoption of agenda.
Any changes, man? No. I move for adoption of the agenda as presented.
My second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, we'll go ahead into our department reports, public works monthly report. We're ready to go.
Good morning, Commissioner. Rory Roulette, Public Works Deputy Director. For roads, our rock crushing contractor wrapped up all our crushing for this fiscal year. We crushed 20,000 in Clarks Canyon, 40,000 in Thompson Pit, and 20,000 at Spur Loop. We are looking at getting them into the Ella Pit for another 26,000 tons here in the next couple of months. And crews have been mainly focusing on chip sealing this month. We completed several chip sealing projects, Black Horse, Cemetery Hill, Decox, Ion Boardman, and Baker Lane. Everything went pretty good for the most part, and had a few little hiccups, but the crew did a really good job, and I think they put a really good product out on the ground. So I'm happy with how everything turned out. For solid waste, operations remain business as usual at both transfer stations. We did team up with the town of Lexington for their voucher program to allow some free dumping for their city residents. And I did want to say that both transfer stations will be closed this Saturday for the 4th, but we will be open both transfer stations for Sunday, the 5th. For airport, ag operations continue. There does continue to be an uptick in overall air traffic as the summer flying season begins. And we are working on some maintenance projects up there with a Winzock system replacement and some restriping. For weeds, Corey and Justin have wrapped up all the roadside spraying this year and are now focused on the summer annuals. And Corey also did get started on the biocontrol program for the county. And that is it for me, unless you have any questions.
Any questions?
I don't.
How you liking it?
It's good. It's going good so far. I've been super busy the last couple months, but getting through it, and yeah, it's going good.
Okay, well, glad to hear it. Thank you, Rory.
Thank you. Thank you. Next up is the public health department. Report.
Good morning.
Morning.
Robin Kennedy, Morrow County Public Health Director. I just have my quarterly update for you all. It's in your packet, but I'll give you a couple of the highlights. The first highlight is our partnership with Morrow County Health District that has been going very well. And I actually have an update an amendment to my report. We had, at the time I wrote this, we had 12 children that we had seen for vaccines up at the clinic, and now the number is actually 17 because we saw 5 more kiddos last week. So just to bring you up to speed, Dr. Jack is our health officer for public health, and she is also the provider up at the clinic here. So she was really instrumental in making this partnership happen. But due to statewide funding, they're not able to get their own vaccines up there. So when a child comes in for a well-child appointment, they can't get everything done all at once unless we go up there and provide the vaccine. Like most pediatricians' offices, you can take your child in for a well-child appointment, get their vaccines, get everything done, and get out. Here, what parents have to do, take their child in for a well-child appointment prior to our partnership, had to take their child in for a well-child appointment and then make a separate trip down to see us to get vaccine, which is just a barrier. And, you know, a lot of parents have good intentions, but when you're packing up kiddos and taking them here and there, things happen. So to be able to provide that service to them at the time of their appointment has been instrumental in helping keep our communities safe and healthy. And the parents have given us some feedback that they appreciate being able to get everything done all at once and not have to pack their kids around. So
As a parent of a toddler, yeah.
yeah, it's been a really good partnership. So we really appreciate Dr. Jack, and it's working here in Heppner. And a lot of parents really like her as a physician and are taking their kiddos to her. So the volume is getting more up there. So it's exciting. And we'd like to continue this partnership and expand it possibly on the north end of the county. We just had to kind of start somewhere. So it's not something that isolated to the Heppner area. We hope to also bring the service to the north end. So anyhow, more to come on that, but so far so good. And we like partnering with a community partner, I think is always good. We also, I think I shared with you before that we are a hub for the safety closet, meaning we have like household safety items, bless you, for children, for families to make their houses more safe, like baby gates and cupboard locks and things like that. We're just a hub to distribute those things through a referral process. And we've served 17 families in that capacity. So I think we made 17 households a little more safe. And also, are you okay? Do you need a nurse?
Yeah.
You can find one out there. Lucky we're open today, but. Do you want me to continue or okay? Okay. I don't know if you are all aware that we have a car seat tech on staff to check car seats. It's Yvonne Morrow, our nursing supervisor, is the car seat tech, and she was really busy and had people bringing car seats in to get checked, and then there was kind of a lull, but we're kind of bringing it back to the forefront. So she's been involved in 5 different events, and the sheriff's office now is a car seat tech as well. So we can partner with them for events and make sure people are going to be okay. Going to make it? Okay, good. That's always embarrassing in a meeting. Coughing your head off. Anyway, I was just updating on the fact that we have a car seat tech on our staff. So if there's any families that need their car seat checked, make sure they have it. You know, car seats are, they're like a puzzle. They're really difficult. And we had to be a car seat tech. I used to carry that title, and we had to go to a 5-day training to learn all about different car seats, how they fit in different cars. There's a lot to it, and you know, you want to make sure if you have a car seat, you want to make sure you're installing it properly and it's safe and your child's safe and all that. So if anybody has car seat questions, they're welcome to call us or bring it on in. We'd be happy to check it out, make sure it's installed properly. Also, we in this last quarter, we worked closely with Heppner schools. There was a couple of illness outbreaks, an influenza and a GI thing. And we were able to get information to the schools that they then disseminated to parents just to help them prevent illness and reminders of how to prevent their child from being ill and signs to look for and when to keep them out of school and things like that. So that was a really good partnership. And then just last week, we hosted a couple of trainings in Oregon. Well, one was in Oregon. They were both supposed to be in Oregon. So one was an emergency preparedness for community leaders, and due to some logistics, that got changed to a virtual training on Monday, which people attended, and there were 17 attendees. So even though we had to kind of flex and pivot, people still attended, and that was a really good training. That was from a gal out of Texas that had a lot of knowledge and experience, and it was really engaging training. And then the other one was a wilderness first aid training, which I thought was really great to be able to offer. And there was 20 participants in that class training, and from what I understand, it was a good training. I haven't heard all the details, but we were happy to partner with OHA and offer those locally. So I'm glad that people took advantage and attended. And then I have an update for you on the nitrate clean water public health part in that. And the contract, I think the last BOC, it was on your agenda, and you, so it was on the consent agenda and you were aware of it. But just to bring it to your attention again, that the contract with ODHS has been extended through June 27th. So we're still able to provide clean water and get that reimbursed through the state. So I know there was some, I had gotten some questions because it was due to end May 30th. So I think people were glad to know that people were panicking. What, are we going to be out of water? But it got extended. So that's good. And then there's just an update from how many well tests have been conducted, how many home visits, and how many people are on water delivery in Morrow County, 332, and how many folks have filtration systems installed, the people that qualify for those, 133. So just an update on that. And then our family planning services, we still provide that quarterly. And our last one was in May. We saw 6 clients. Dr. Jack was our provider that day. And our nurses throughout the quarter have seen 12 clients. So we continue to do that program as well. And then, and we just continue to offer a variety of birth control options. We also have confidential testing for sexually transmitted diseases. So we can kind of control the spread of that. So with that, the next section is our communicable disease update. I have just the update of the numbers in our county, January to June. They're there for you to look at. I don't know if you have any questions about any of those numbers. They're pretty.
Did them stand out to you? I mean, they're going to mean more to you than me.
No, pretty typical for what we see in our county. I don't see anything that stands out as like, we need to react to that. So it's pretty standard, but we continue to try to promote prevention and all of that. So, and then staffing updates, we're currently fairly well staffed. We do have some positions for per diem clinic nurse and home visiting nurse that we'd like to fill. And we haven't had any applicants, but it would be nice if nurses fell out of the sky, but they don't. Anyway, that's all I have for a quarterly update in public health. Do you have any questions?
I've got one. You mentioned that the state doesn't have vaccines. Can you elaborate more on that?
Not that the state doesn't have vaccines. The program to get state-funded vaccines, the health district is not able to apply for that program currently.
Okay.
Does that make sense? We have the distinction. It's called VFC, or Vaccine for Children.
Okay.
And it's a program funded by the state that we've had in place for a long time. But to get that distinction in place is not possible right at the moment. So the health district can't apply for that to get vaccines in their own clinic. Does that make sense? That's why the partnership had to happen. Hopefully I
don't get why the state has those sort of rules, like vaccines for kids should be available more, but
I agree. I agree 100%.
I'm glad that we're doing this.
Yes.
That was my question.
Sure.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I read this morning where another child died in a car. Was at a daycare. Was
like heat related?
Heat related, not
like in a
not
hot
here in
car?
Oregon,
Mm.
but hot car. It seemed to me, I read somewhere one time where there was a public awareness. They had a kind of a slogan, check or something, I forget it.
Mm-hmm.
Put something in the back seat that you have to have when you get to work. I don't know. Have you ever
Just to remind you that there's a child in the car in
Do
case.
you think that was something you might, it's just a public awareness thing.
Yeah.
It's not something you can actually stop, I mean, it's just, it seemed to me there was a
Yeah.
little catch, a little program they had of I think it was put some, and this was a year or so ago,
Mhm.
put something in the back seat that you have to have at work. I don't know. Is there something you might?
We can definitely, yeah, we have
our.
our communications person she's stationed in Portland, but we contract with her and I can absolutely work with her on putting out some public messaging. And
Yeah.
during the summertime, that's a really good message to make sure kids aren't left in a hot car. And yeah. And you're right, it's awareness, but everybody needs to be aware because it could, one child, we don't, yeah, that's awful. It's awful.
It's devastating.
I agree. It's awful.
Anyway.
Yeah. But we can definitely promote some public awareness around that. Absolutely. Be happy to. Yeah. All right.
Questions? All right, so thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day.
Next up is our county administrator report.
Yeah, so submitted a written report, kind of a short list for this last 2 weeks, but that's mainly because of the holiday and then me being out sick for 2 days. But just the courthouse construction, there's an update for the last month attached with the report. Just one thing, we got our first kind of little overage. Our material testing initial quote was a little bit low based on just the remote location of Heppner and the amount of pours and rebar ties and that they have to come out and inspect before passing off and letting to go. We are looking to see if we can coordinate that and get a little bit more, but we do have an overage that amount will be going up by $30,000, but it will be covered under the soft cost contingency that we have. We don't see any major change in the project. We have received the signed state OJD documents for funding reimbursements. Finance is working on getting our first request in, which will pretty much fulfill our phase one, and then we'll be getting our phase two, which will be the major construction reimbursements as we go through. So working well with state OJD and such. The other one is just conversations for the Boardman Court Annex, the city of Boardman. They've got the initial design area space planning, let's say, for their annex. We've got just questions about, what's the lease rate going to be and those other things. The board previously agreed to support, letter of support with the idea that we'll have further negotiations. So this is when we start kicking in and saying, okay, how much space do we really need? Chair Sykes was able to participate in that as well. And we'll be reaching out to Judge Hill and Judge Temple to make sure just some logistics and usage understanding as the city of Boardman considers working on the annex. Their next step is just to say, hey, if this is the space, the city of Boardman's next step is taking it to the city council next week and just saying, if this is the biggest the space is, this is the ballpark price, are we still good to do this? Because it is a major commitment by the city of Boardman to build that court annex, more or less just to have it there in their city. And so they'll be having that discussion next week. So just to let you know, that will be on theirs, but it's more or less just to get a willingness to spend that kind of money on that. So we'll still be working on it. I'll be meeting with the sheriff and the DA to assess their space needs, and then reaching out to Judge Temple and Judge Hill for the court utilization. Fair and Rodeo is coming along. We've been meeting with them, taking care of things with construction. And my greatest part of news is we've got our new HR director. I was going to have her come up, but Teresa Gerard started on June 22nd. She's downstairs. They're moving the HR offices over to where finance was to give HR a little bit more room and immediate access to their storage and such. And so they'll be over in that northwest corner of the building. So looking forward, this next 2 weeks, I will be out July 13th through 15th. Vince will be in. We do have an update on the public outreach meeting, the talking session about industrial development, data centers and that. We'll be pulling that together, and I had a commitment to review that with the commission in July. We're not quite ready for this meeting. Next meeting, Chair Sykes and I will both be out, so I'm not sure if we want to have a special meeting later in July just to review that, or if it's okay doing it the first meeting in August. We are going to be looking to have that meeting towards the end of August to reach out and involve stakeholders. So just wanted to get a read from the BOC if a special meeting after the 15th, or just wait to the first meeting in August will be.
I'd rather do a special meeting and make sure that we're as prepared as we need to be. I don't want to wait until August and then, have something come up and say, well, we've got to push this back farther. I would prefer not to do that. That's my thought.
Is that okay with others?
I got a question about the annex. Could you explain to me where the county BOC or administration is going to be involved in determining our space? Because up to this point, we haven't been at all. And, it's, they said they had a meeting of the stakeholders, and we're being told, I'm not sure, 20-year lease, that's to me is a stakeholder.
That's a pretty big stakeholder.
Basically, the way it is now is, okay, here's your space that you're going to lease from us. And I was wondering is, when do Morrow County staff or BOC get to engage on, is that what we want for 20 years?
Yeah. And I think the outreach by Brandon Hamm, the city manager from Boardman, this last week was kind of that initial effort. I would have liked to have been involved much earlier because the space that was designated for county's need was pretty much came from the circuit court and kind of saying, oh, they'll need this and this and this. And just looking at it, we don't need all that space. And it really comes down to utilization of what the court's desires are. So I think it's having that meeting with them and making sure that I've just told Brandon, if you're having space plans, county needs to be involved because the requirement is the county provides the space for the court. Now, in this agreement, we're more or less allowing the city to consider building it and paying for that space, and then we'll utilize it. And for access of justice and that, there's some opportunities on that. The court got with the board, with the city of Boardman. Boardman wanted to get their police department going, and they kind of ran without the county. That needs to change, and that's what I've let the city manager know we need to be involved.
No, and I appreciate totally that you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, we ran that with our project.
Mhm.
Somewhere you have to say, okay, here's what our plan is.
Yes.
But just knowing, okay, how's the decision-making process going to play out? And will we be, and who will be involved?
And
that's what I was just
yeah. And quite frankly, the BOC needs to be involved very intimately over the next 2 months because they are looking at this plans and, the city of Boardman wants to proceed on the building as soon as possible because they have their own space needs there. One of the challenges that we have is the circuit court won't have assurance on the funding for their furniture and fixtures and that kind of stuff, their contribution, until possibly July of next year. And so it's a little bit of cart before the horse on these kind of things, or kind of an act of faith on some of these things. But we really do need to get an understanding of it, and the city of Boardman needs to, because they're looking at about a 41,000 square foot building. We have a 23,000 square foot building that's costing us $35 million. So, different setting and everything, but it's going to be a costly project up there. And that's what they need to digest to even consider if they want to include the civil court, the circuit court and the county aspect of it.
That's all the questions I had. Anybody else have a question on that?
Well, based on the administrator's report, I'm pretty sure, Chair Sykes, that you're the person who's going to be involved in that.
As far as meeting with Judge Temple and Judge Hill, for sure.
I don't mind. I just like to get the rules in place.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, okay, so.
Yes, I understand and agree.
Yeah, you attend one meeting and then, well, that's it, you know, and next thing it pops up, we get a lease on our,
I think we should be involved in.
on our agenda.
Yes, I agree.
You know, that's kind of late in the game. Yeah, anyway.
Definitely.
So I just wanted to get the plan laid out of how this is, how our space and involvement is going to be determined, and you can plan it out. Okay.
We'll get that worked out for you.
Okay.
And just to kind of revisit, so could we do a special work session on the 22nd? Because this month has 5 Wednesdays, kind of gives us a little extra room before the August meeting.
Works for me.
Okay. Good.
You good with that, Jeff? 22nd, be okay. Okay, we'll shoot for that. Thank you.
The police department consent agenda. You guys got anything you want to pull out?
I'm good.
You didn't read the minutes then?
Uh-oh. What did I miss?
June 17th. Did you change your last name?
Oh, did I change my last name? I'm glad you double checked. I look for the motions. I look for. Is my name wrong? Cool.
Where's his name room? Gus Winholtz. I love it.
Gus Winholtz. Oh, wow.
I didn't know you adopted.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have some discussions. Gus Winholtz. Now, okay, all right. We should take that out and correct it.
So I have that noted. We'll consider that a Scrivener's error.
Okay.
Okay.
I'd like to pull out B.
Okay.
So, everything else, could we do the minutes without pulling it out?
I think so.
I think so.
You do think so?
We'll just make that note when you do that.
Okay. So, entertain motion to approve the consent agenda, less A and less B with changes to the minutes.
I move to approve the consent agenda with Scrivener's errors, corrections to the minutes, and removal of item.
Okay. No second.
Second.
All approved. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. The only question I had on doing that was, is this, and you know, it refreshed my mind because sometimes this retroactive action on this one, where is that, do you consider that retroactive where we paid them? It seems like it after the work was done. Is that right?
So they haven't been paid on this, have they?
No.
They have not.
Right, the amount hasn't been determined yet, right?
Yeah, I think this is, if I may,
Yeah, please.
and Sandy, you may want to speak to this too. I think this is just an amendment, a change order that we added to what was in the contract. Instead of paying the landowner the crushing fees, they took the payment in rock. And so we had them crush additional rock and supplied the landowner for it, and then which increased their overall bid, which doesn't match the contract. So this is just matching that.
Now,
But that was money that was going to go to the landowner.
Yes.
Okay, so it didn't functionally change the cost of the project.
Correct.
Where the money was
Correct.
allocated.
Correct.
Thank you.
but, and I guess my question wasn't so much the money, but the process. You feel comfortable doing that after, you know, coming back and making adjustments like that? You need some leeway to do that, I understand.
Yeah. I mean, ideally, we'd like to have those answered beforehand, so that the contract's done one time. We don't have to issue a change order like this, but it wasn't. And so we'll have this one, and we'll actually have an additional one coming in for the Spur Loop pit. Was the same same transaction.
And like I said, I wasn't questioning the amounts or anything like that. I was just wondering if that, the goal is to have it done before. You're not,
Yeah.
so it doesn't become habit.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
That's all.
Yeah.
Entertaining motion to approve
Do you
ID.
hear me okay? Or am I?
We could turn you up if Sandy wanted to make another point, although I think we were gonna make a motion, but go ahead, Sandy.
Okay, no, that's fine. Go ahead.
It's like, never mind. Okay, I move to approve amendment number 1 to the rock crushing services contract with Schubert?
Yeah.
Schubert Excavator. Thanks for nobody jumping in and helping me. Incorporated, procurement number 2026-134-PR, increasing the contract amount by $20,146.64 for a revised contract total of $301,146.64, and authorize the chair to execute the amendment on behalf of Morrow County.
Yeah, so that gets my attention right away. These things. So
I second.
One second. Move a second and any further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carried. That takes care of the consent. We'll move on to our business items. Spur Loop Road vacation.
Rory.
Already back.
It's just a Rory meeting.
Yeah. Yeah, Rory Roulette, Public Works Deputy Director. So this is the vacation for the same section of road that we just dedicated at the last BOC on that section on Spur Loop connecting to Sand Hollow.
So this is a legal process. We don't want to vacate a road until the other one is dedicated.
Yeah.
And so as that's recorded at the last meeting, we're now vacating the one that we don't need anymore.
Yeah.
And I noticed they've already moved the barricades to do so. So
Well, yeah, I'm ready for it. I move to vacate section of Spur Loop Road as presented. Second.
Just a second. I'm not sure if I have a question on this one. Quick, real quick.
Potential discussion.
Okay. Oh, okay. My question was, and I checked with Justin on this, it hasn't been signed off on by the legal counsel. And I think there's another one in our agenda that isn't signed off anyway. So I shot an email to Justin. Is he on there? Justin, you on?
Yeah.
Anyway, he said he was going to review them, but I still, and I made this point before, I want to see in legal documents, I want to see our legal counsel sign off. And I can't see why we can't expect that, because you look at that and you go, okay, especially when the chair is signing them all. No, but you see what I mean?
I
think
do understand what you're
these
saying.
things really should be looked at, So anyway, I'm ready to, I'll approve it, but, okay. Do we have a motion?
Yeah.
Okay. Then move to second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. All right, next up is our legalization of washing and moving lane, CR 550 and one road, CR 537,
Good morning,
Right.
Matt Kenny, Kenny Land Surveying. So yeah, this is an item that we brought to you guys back on, I think it was like April 1st. We went ahead and issued the order to go ahead and proceed with the survey and report for legalization of these two roads. At this point, we're just kind of presenting the results of that survey and report to you. I think once we get a public hearing date scheduled, we'll kind of dig into the details of both of those items a little bit further then. So at this point, I think the goal of this meeting is just to, acknowledgement, hey, survey is completed. I still have to go set monuments and things like that on the ground. It'll be another month or so before it gets recorded. There's really no legal timeline for when it has to be recorded, but the alignment is set in stone. It's not going to change. Virtually, we held the existing gravel road surface and applied the record right-of-way width. All the legal documents say the road's 40 feet, and so that's what we applied to the existing physical road center line. Typical legalization procedure. Just hold what's there. It's been there for 10 or more years. It meets all the statutory requirements. So
He's been there for more than 10.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I guess I was looking at maybe an August 19th public hearing date, and Rory can jump in anytime if he has any additional comment, but that's kind of what we're after, I think, with this one.
Okay, any questions?
I'm just double checking that date. I move to set a public hearing of August 19th, 2026 for the legalization of a portion of Immigrant Lane and Morgan Road. Second.
Moving to second, any further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right, all opposed, same sign, motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is our approving of plat petition.
So this is the one we had, a developer looking to partition a section of their parcel south of Aragon, off Depot Lane and such. Copies of the plat are right there. This is a more or less a existing parcel. They're just the owners dividing two other parcels in there. And so it's more or less kind of just an acknowledgement and acceptance of that parcel subdivision by the VOC. So we're asking for a motion to approve the plat petition as shown on the drawings. I was not able to include it because we didn't have PDF and I didn't have any way to scan that in. We will make a requirement that they provide a PDF version of any partitions in the future so it can be included in the package. So
Any questions on that? Entertain a motion to approve the plat petition.
Move to approve plat petition as outlined on the plat document for Kleber LP.
I second.
Moved in second, further discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, approved. Thank you. Okay, now we're up to our Oregon Idaho border discussion. Matt McCaw, are you on there?
Matt is not here, but I'm Alicia Zini. I'm representing him.
Okay, before you get going, I want to do what I've always asked for before that, so that people who may not be familiar with this is kind of get an idea why we're doing this. I don't have all the details, so I usually ask Justin to give the rundown, but
I can do a shorter version, Justin.
do you want to give the rundown?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay. I'll just read the issues, background discussion.
Okay.
Okay. In November 2022, Morrow County citizens voted for the Morrow County ballot measure, calling for the County Commission Board to meet 3 times a year to discuss promoting Morrow County's interests regarding relocation of the state border. So this is a requirement that the voters put to the county board that we would have this discussion 3 times a year. Nothing necessarily beyond. We have to have the discussion 3 times a year. There was no timeline, so it's indefinite. So we are here to do our legally required part of discussing potential relocation of the state border.
Okay, and we generally ask somebody from relocation group, and so go ahead, take it away. Give us an update on what's happening.
Okay, well, first off, thank you for adhering to the motion that the citizens put before you to meet frequently, and I appreciate the chance to speak to you. I just wanted you to know that the movement is alive and well. Some of our current efforts are to petition the federal administration for assistance, perhaps by creating something we're calling the Office of State Border Transition and Sovereignty. Similar to Eastern Oregon counties, other states have groups of counties that are dissatisfied with state government being dominated by a large urban area, and they have similar concerns that Eastern Oregon residents do. So we have been working together to see if we can gain some momentum and some sort of results with the federal administration. At the same time, I might just let you know that in Wallowa County, where I live, there was a citizen's petition to stop the meetings, and that did recently pass with the May elections. It's easy to conclude that that was not or that means that the citizens are no longer interested in the Greater Idaho movement. And I think that's a little bit of a inaccurate conclusion, because at the same time that this measure was on the ballot, there were several other issues that showed quite a bit of discontent with Oregon state government and how things are being decided and how that affects Eastern Oregon residents. So I think one thing you might consider is that even though meeting stops, the sentiment does not go away. And in some cases, people are just very clear that the Oregon legislature is not going to move on this. And so why hold meetings if there's going to be no movement? Anyway, that's about an update on where we are at, but our social media, our mailing lists, everything that we're doing show there's still quite a bit of discontent with Oregon's legislature and the government and the way that the supermajority has favored urban interests over rural interests. And so the issue continues, and thank you for holding your meetings.
Good question, and you said it and I probably missed it, but was that a referendum that was put out or initiative on stopping the meetings?
It was an initiative, a citizen, yeah.
But, okay. Started by the citizens initiative. The citizens gathered the signatures and got it on the ballot.
That's correct.
Okay. Right, any other questions?
Anyway, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think these are business correspondence, DLCD request from Farmers Cup.
So we, just as a note, the Board of Commissions and the County Administrator received a packet from the Farmers Cup. This is a request for the DLCD to kind of find, kind of put an injunction on the IAMP and the TCP that has been TSP that the city of Boardman has adopted and the county has co-adopted. Previously, Jonathan Tolman had submitted a request to DLCD. It was rejected. This is a resubmittal of the items, contrary to what was written in the area. It looked to be the same, but then we were able to clarify yesterday that it is something new. So we're just noting receipt of this document. This is before the DLCD. Nothing for the county to take care of at this time, but just wanted to note for the record that we have received it.
Okay. Okay, next up is our beach commissioner report. Start as we usually do from the left. Yeah.
So I can't think of anything really to report other than a couple of weeks ago I did go to the CREA meeting, which was in person. Never reported that, but in person it was time to edit in the city of Bend. So attended that. One of the interesting things there, it's not necessarily pertinent to the county, but interesting deals that down around Lapine, a little bit south of Lapine, there's a geothermal energy site that they're exploring down there. I guess they've done a bunch of testing there, but they're doing something that's different in that they're going deeper into the ground rather than hotter, and they're trying to come up with a new way to generate electricity that's a more of a base load. So they can firm up some of the other stuff, but obviously they'll have challenges of they're a long ways away from any transmission lines, and it is a new technology.
So, I mean, since you went to one meeting where they demonstrated, I expect you to be an expert on it. So if they're going super far into the ground, why can't they just put it anywhere?
They talked about the different types of the geology and stuff, but my understanding is that it is more able to be used in a lot more areas than what traditional has done. But that area is more
conducive for it for whatever reason.
for whatever reason.
Okay.
But to your point, they may not have to go quite as far there as, say, here.
Interesting.
And one of the other things that's a challenge for them there is water. Central Oregon short on water, and so they inject water down in
I
there.
haven't read any news articles on one, so that's interesting.
And then I guess since the last meeting, did have a CDA meeting. Nothing of significance to report there. They're just moving forward on. It appears that we're getting closer to the property getting transferred. I understand your sentiment, though. And beyond that, I can't think of anything newsworthy.
You need to bring poppers when that happens.
Yes.
The party poppers.
Yes. So I think that's all that. Dave.
I guess, probably, I don't know if you guys have been reading about the big meeting in Hamilton on homelessness. They filled up,
Yeah.
did you?
I did read
check
it.
I
that?
read the article.
Yeah.
And I filled up the convention center. Well, the reason I brought that up is Capco is they're a centerpiece as far as the public speaking about this. I'm not going to go into which way they are, but what I want to say is I attend their meetings every month. We have somebody on the board we appoint every year. This year's me. But I'm wondering, Matt, do you have any idea? And this isn't because something legal is going to happen with CAP. I just wonder, what is our county's relationship? Do they just ask us to put, by any chance? Do they just ask us to put somebody on the board and we do it? Or do we pay dues? We pay dues, don't we? Or not? Do you know? Well, I should look before.
I can look in.
Well, I just wondered if, no, and I'm not saying separate yourselves. I'm just saying, make the board aware that they are part of the discussion. And we are part of the CAPCO. And they spend time talking about it at every one of their meetings. And CAPCO's role in the homeless in Pendleton. It's a 2-county organization. They have housing. They have a pretty good housing program. I think it's still going on. They give $25,000 to first-time home buyers. You got to go through a class. You got to be a first-time home buyer in your family, I believe. But I was trying to get that because I don't think many people in Morrow County know about it.
No, I think that would be, if we could do a better job of advertising it, that would be awesome.
Okay, I asked them once and I said, can we, since you are a 2-county thing, and maybe get somebody to come over and.
I think we need to do a very good job of, I'm afraid a lot of things that are 2-county programs with us in Umatilla are really mostly Umatilla and we get overlooked. So I think, yeah, anytime we have an opportunity to remind them that we exist.
Okay.
So good thing to do.
Do you want me to ask somebody from CAPCO to come and, well, no. Morrow County hasn't been mentioned in any of the being part of CAPCO and they're part of the homeless, so I guess just leave it alone. Don't stick a stick in that hornet's nest. Okay, that's all I got.
I don't think I have anything at the moment. So, okay, it's my report.
All right, I guess with that, there's no other business now. I guess I'll ask Matt. We have a work session 11.
11 o'clock, yes.
What do we got now? It's 10 till 10. Now, we can't hold that early, correct?
We cannot hold it early.
We can hold it
postpone it, but
okay.
we can't hold it early.
Okay, just so everybody knows, we have a work session on properties that have been, let's say confiscated.
Tax
proposed. Yeah, taxes, for taxes, and we're realigning how we deal with those. So there won't be any action taken, but that's what the major discussion is about. Tax possessed properties. So that'll be 11 o'clock. So any other business coming before the POC? Okay with that?
Have we had a meeting in under an hour before?
When Dave and I first got elected, we had some